Hey everyone, how are you doing? Welcome to another episode of the Real 916. This is where real estate gets real. My name is Suzette Loggins. I am your trusted realtor here, and I have one of my favorite lenders here, Summer. Summer, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, Suzette. Thank you so much, as always, for having me. Yes, Summer Loeb serving you 365 days a year with all your home financing needs.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So today, wait a minute, today we are diving into a question a lot of people are asking right now. How do you finance a home in a rural paradise like Murphy's, California, especially if it's possibly your second home, your weekend retreat, or your future retirement plan? But you know what? This property that I'm talking about is actually near some medical facilities. So there can be some doctors, some nurses, some people that work at the hospital that, hey, this would be a perfect place to live and be right close to work. So to help us unpack it all, I've packed all of it. I've invited Summer. She's my go-to lender, and we're going to walk through some of these financing options for you. So don't go too far because you know what? Sometimes in these shows like this or podcasts, the realtors and the lenders, they kind of get on here and they talk about lofty things, but no, you know what, me, this is your girl here. We're going to tell you actually the facts, the numbers. How do you need to strategically plan for purchasing a property like this? So again, let's just go ahead and just dive into it. So this property that we're talking about is at 207 Snowberry Court in Murphy's, California. Can you believe that? Who could have named the street better than that? Snowberry Court. And right now, the price, we just did a price improvement. I want to say price improvement at $549,000. So, Summer, let's just start off with someone that's buying this property as their primary residence. What would that take? Kind of just walk us through that what a buyer would be considering thinking about purchasing this type of a property.
Well, you said something that just piqued my ear. A lot of buyers are savvy right now. They are planning, strategically planning. But let me stop you. Your plan is incomplete if you haven't spoken to someone like myself, a loan officer, so we can tell you exactly what to plan for. Because what I often find is people over plan, or they plan for areas, whether it's credit, whether it's their job, in the areas that maybe don't need as much of attention as another area that a bank is really, really focused or looking at. So that's number one. Come see us so we can tell you what the tips and tricks are and what to focus on. It's going to make your life a lot easier, a lot less stress when planning to buy a home.
That's perfect, perfect. You know, because the thing is, I do run into buyers and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna buy a house, but we're waiting to do this, or we have a plan to do A, B, C,
Right.
or D," or they have their own roadmap, already completed in their head, or maybe even on paper, and that's great. But you're not the realtor, you're not the lender. So, and it doesn't cost anything to come talk to us and see if you're actually on the right path. So, Summer, that is a great, great, great point.
Yeah, I've helped and provided consultations for over 3,000 people. I have helped and served, hundreds of people get into their first home, their second home, their investment property. So, we definitely have the help, the support, and the direction.
Exactly, exactly. So for this property at, 549,000, and again, for buyers out there, you may think like, oh my God, this is still pretty high, but the market has softened, and this property just last year probably would have been going for more like in the 600,000 range.
Right.
So I know I'm not trying to spend your money, but let's figure out how can we get your money spent with a good interest rate and getting you into a property that you can really see yourself living in for a long time. So, Summer, what would it take for someone as a primary, that is going to be their primary residence? like their down payment, their payment, what would that look like?
Yeah, I like what you said, spending your money in the right place where it's working for you. And you're not renting anymore. If you're spending over $2,500 a month in rent, this is an amazing property and this is an awesome investment. I have a client closing today where they brought in less than $4,000 to close.
Mm.
I have a program where you, on this property, this is the exact numbers, you can receive a grant for $19,215. And when I say grant, that's not just down payment assistance. Yes, it's assistance. Yes, it's your down payment, but a grant means you do not have to pay it back. And those don't come very often. So we have some amazing programs. We are a broker, so we have a lot of different things and we're doing a lot of different things that your average bank is not doing and is not going to take you through the ringer to qualify for.
Exactly. No, so you brought up two points. One is a grant. I want to make sure everyone hears that there is grant money out there. Again, it doesn't come all the time, but that grant money is a grant. That means that you don't have to pay it back if you fall within the right requirements. But the other part that you said, you talked about a broker, and I know that there's like a misconception or not really understanding, because I know when you're in the real estate and in your lending world, you're like, okay, mortgage broker, loan advisor, real estate agent, realtor, banker, like all these different terms. Can you break down, as you as a mortgage broker, what does that actually mean to someone?
Yeah, and I've worked for your big banks, your Wells Fargo's, your Bank of America. A broker just means we have a lot more options and ways to serve you. That's really the bottom line, and that's what brought me on this side, of the lending world.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So let's just get back to this 207 Snowberry Court. I like to say that word, that street name. But what would it take for someone to purchase this property specifically, this tactically? We're looking at strategically, like, okay, people are like, oh, do I need to do all my W-2s, my tax returns? Like, how much money do I need to put down? How much money do I need to have in my savings account? Like, can we kind of do a deep dive right into that?
Suzette, that's why I wanted to emphasize right in the beginning, broker, is because whether you're Googling this online, whether you have a family member that maybe has done home loans or has bought a house, we know your family usually is your first go-to, or your friends or your coworker, and they say, this is what we did before buying a house. And again, all those things that you named, whether it's credit, how much money do I need to have saved? How much money do I need to make? Do I need to have filed my taxes? You know, that's the great thing about coming to us, because we have different programs for each of those areas, whether you're self-employed and you're a business owner, you're a W-2, you work for the state, the different things that are the different lifestyles, the different people are more creative now. You're making money online. Okay, maybe your family's going to help you with the down payment if you're not going to use the grant. There's just so many different options to look at with us. So then I can tailor make the loan program or for you, or tell you, hey, go with this program or go with that program. Or, hey, we're not fitting in this box, but this is how you fit into this box. This is how you qualify for this type of loan if you're trying to get the best loan terms.
Oh, great, great, great. We did talk a little bit about before the Zoom call about USDA. Can you touch upon that and what does that mean for rural areas?
Yeah, so USDA loan, I had a client recently reach out, Summer, we would love to qualify for a USDA loan, which are primarily for property suited in a rural area. And I said, okay, well, why do you want to qualify for a USDA loan? And they said, we would love to get that we would love to have 100% financing and put no money down. I said, well, absolutely. I have that loan product for you now. So it's just about, again, what you're looking for. It may just be under a different name, but that's the benefit of coming and doing a free consultation, with a trusted loan officer. How do we get paid? We get paid by the bank. So again, it's a no obligation free consultation for us to help you go through your situation, go through your finances, go through your credit. I can do a soft credit pull, so it's no impact to your credit. And I'm genuinely looking to help you and help you structure the best loan and deal for you.
Okay, you guys, hopefully you are getting all this value that Miss Summer is presenting to you. But before we end this call, I have to remind you that we are looking specifically at this 207 Snowberry Court. And if you want to find out more about the property, look in the description below. I have the website for the property, has a video, has you walking through the property to see how fabulous it can be, and hopefully you can see yourself living there. But again, if that property is not for you, myself and Summer can always do a free consultation. It takes about 15 minutes to really understand what your goals are, and then we can craft the plan and help you get that plan in place to move forward. But again, before we leave, we have to get into the numbers. So, Summer, can you break down the numbers for us for that $549,000?